Good evening, everybody. My name's the Cornishmedium, Dez Richards, here from the UK. Thank you for joining us. Um, so we shall continue from last week, and this is my crazy idea of obviously just getting together on a Thursday evening and talking about spirit, talking about how we can develop ourselves, how we can connect better. And obviously I've got two lovely people in the background there that are waiting to join as guinea pigs, as to say. But I know anybody in Cornwall that's watching, thank you, because I know it's going to be nice down there, and Tony will explain how not well, and Charlie as well, because they are both down from the south, so they'll be able to tell me how nice it is. But so if you are joining me from Cornwall, I do thank you, because if not, you should be on the beach enjoying it, because you've only got it until Saturday morning, I believe, and then the rain will come back and burst everybody's bubble. But if you didn't see us last week, what we're trying to do is obviously, I think a bit different, as my friends all know and can all vouch, where many people have been non-development circles, many people, have been included in these, and people, psychics, mediums, all teach, all invite, tell their experiences in different ways. My way is, once again, to me, it's so obvious. I don't understand. Well, I do understand why nobody's doing this, because they're, anyway. They're psychics, and they call themselves psychics, they call themselves mediums, but really they're not. They may be able to do the job, but but not a true medium in the old sense of the word. And this is why I got Charlie and I got Tony involved, because hopefully with our understanding as a group, that will make them better clairvoyants, better mediums, and better spiritual people. All right, because we're working with spirit. That world is not far away. Okay, and I'm sorry, I was about to say mine, but I can't say mine. Their job. Because I'm working tonight, so everything that I say is they. All right, it's never me, because once again, if you take ownership of anything spiritual, then karma will have its way, and you're not going to die a horrible death, but you may have an accident or something, but karma will always have its way, and that's why every time you do a reading, a sitting, it's always they. You are working for somebody else. You are working for the spirit world. You're never working for yourself. If you ever see a clairvoyant, a medium that ever says that, kick them in the testicles or wherever you can and walk away, okay? Because you know that they're just after one thing, and that's the 40, 50 quid you got in your purse, all right? Here, we do not do that. So I do thank you for joining us, because tonight, obviously, we're going to go on about feeling, hearing, and seeing, all right? And what we'll do is I'll bring my friends in as well. They'll be nice and quiet in the background. Here we have Tony, but I've changed it around now, so the three of us are on the screen, where before last week it was a bit dodgy and nobody could really see us. So next time, obviously, you see this back, ladies, you'll be like, okay, they can see us for a change, and it will freak you out. So obviously we have, the easiest way would be Tony with the spectacles and Charlie without the spectacles. Because obviously it's left and right and depends on how you see it. And obviously Charlie and Tony have been on my case saying, we've got to do something, so this is it. And as I said, to me, if working for spirit and with spirit, if you don't know about the spirit world, if you don't know about what you're working with, how are you going to become a really, really good medium, clairvoyant, whatever you want to do, when you connect with spirit? So this is what we're doing with this little show, and hopefully, the people that are watching will get something out of it as well. Because hopefully we'll do some exercises. We'll play a bit this evening. Right. Anyway, Charlie, did you have a good week?
Yes, kind of. We've got
Okay.
decorators in.
Okay. You may have to just come a bit closer to your screen so we can adjust your mic. There we go.
I've got decorators in.
Okay. All right. So you've been. Yeah, I won't say busy because I know that Charlie's got a large family, so that it's going to be hectic at your house.
Yeah.
Shall we
We'll
say
go for the damper mould, so the house is literally upside down.
that? So Charlie's like gone away for an hour and a half in the back room. It
Peace.
seems,
Yeah.
and it's brilliant. And Tony's joining us as well because I did message Tony and she went, "Oh, I haven't heard from you all week. We're still doing it." And I was like, "Yeah, didn't you know? It's like we're trying to do it in every week thing, but it's not a problem, all right? Because because I know that obviously Charlie and Tony they've got cards. I know that obviously Tony has done readings in the past, and she's done paranormal investigations, etc., etc. So hopefully she'll be able to understand what I'm trying to tell you all, and then she can ask, between us, hopefully you'll be able to get the understanding. Because it happened in work the other day. I work in a betting shop. Long story short, this man came in. I said his bet was cancelled. He wasn't having any of it. Went to another shop. The colleague said exactly the same, and he accepted it, and he was fine. And I was scratching my head, and the girl went, "Well, perhaps it's the way that you explain things, Des. People don't understand you." And I was like, "I get that all my life, love. Do not worry about it." So between the three of us, hopefully we can get an understanding out there, that you can all understand and all go with as well, because we're hopefully all going to learn, all going to pick up tips, all pick up tips of the trade. So what we'll start with, as I said, is feel, hear, and see. Because once again, with spirit, with your guide mainly, which we'll talk about as well. That is the main spirit person that you will be working with. Yes, yeah, your family may come in, but they won't be doing the clairvoyance thing. Spirit have their way because obviously your guide has chosen you, and there is a school of thought that that guide may be a member of your soul group, maybe somebody that you just met in one of your past lives, that you've clicked onto. But that spirit being has made a pact with you to come on this side of life and so I'm only smiling because I'm going, how can I explain this? They've always got eyes on you, all right? Because when we arrive here on this side of life, we have things to do, we have a plan, and obviously when we're born and when we're a baby, the hardest thing is to remember the plan, okay? And we don't until you get to until we. So I'm only saying that because Charlie, I don't want to say, but when you get to 20, like Charlie and Tony, you start asking questions, and you're going, okay, how are we going to do this? What are we going to do about this? And it's then your guides or your guide will come in and prompt you and try to steer you the best he or she can to what you agreed on the other side of life to do and succeed in. Okay, obviously we have free choice when we get here. We don't have to do it. And I know that all the people that are watching and Charlie and Tony can understand that voice in your head, that you want to turn right and they're saying turn left. So you turn right and it's always the wrong way, and that is the voice, that is the feeling, of them coming in. So what we'll do in a minute is believe it or not, each guide will have what you call a calling card, okay? And what that is obviously a feeling that is purely between you and your spirit being friend, okay? Because they will tell you when they're close, they will tell you when they're working with you. Sometimes, you know, as Tony knows in the past, sometimes they overpower you and you just got to go with it. You know, if you're talking to somebody and you know, you got that feeling that they're after something else than a normal chat, then spirit will have its way. And they'll go, oh, I didn't know you was into that type of stuff, Tony, Charlie. And you go, oh, yeah. I'm a clever. Oh, are you a clever one? Oh, yeah, so-and-so just died. Oh, so-and-so just died. Okay, this is why we're having this conversation, you know. And they're the gems, okay. But spirit, once again, will tell you when they're there. They will be there because they would have set the meeting up. Because once again, I work in a theory that everything is planned as much as it can be. Because free will, we can change things at the last moment. Spirit don't like that so much because, you know, they spent weeks, months trying to get everybody together in the right place at the right time. And then we decide not to go out. And then they're like, for Christ's sake, okay, right, start all over again, Des. Right, when are you going to the spiritual church? When are you doing this? Right, you know. And that's the way that they work. You know, they also work once again, you know, with that repetitiveness inside of your head. That knowing thought that will never go away until you sit back and go, okay, guys, this, you know, I know what you want me to do. Let's go and do it. And that's what happened the other day with the silver birch that Charlie heard back because she wasn't really listening. The last Thursday, she wasn't really bothered. She's, I'll listen to it again. But once again, that was all, you know, about the knowing and about opening the doors, because there was a conversation wasn't about once you've opened them, can they close? And everybody online is going, yeah, yes, you can close, yes, you can. You're a leaky medium. Yeah, and there, you know, you can. But to me, is there any point? You know, once you've opened that door and you've connected to the universe, why? I don't understand why somebody would want to close that off. You know, that's just me. But to me, it doesn't make it. You know, it doesn't make any sense. And another clairvoyant would go, "Oh, Des, you need this. You need to spend more time on this side of life," which is true. But my big point with the ladies here, if we could blend both of the worlds together, then it would be a better world for us all. You know, and that's my big thing about blending the spirit world with our world, working together in harmony, you know, making your guide your best friend. So whenever you're alone in the car, you have a conversation with them, you have a chat with them. Yeah, fair enough, not about, you know, the weather or where you're going, but they'll be able to tell you stuff about the universe and about mankind, how it became about, because I know that Tony and I know that Charlie's guides, if they're working with me, not boasting, but I know that they go back a long way, you know, because you have your guys that come in, but your lifetime guides are as old as your hat, as they say. All right, because that, once again, because we wouldn't be here together. Yeah, Charlie.
Yeah. You're always picking on me.
Well,
Tony's not on it.
But you're so far away there, Charlie. That's all I can see your face, and it's but yeah. But do you understand? Obviously, because I'm only picking on Charlie because she's new, not new to this, but she's as I said, she's been in different groups and opened herself up to different teachings and stuff. But do you understand where we're trying to come from, Charlie? With, you know, with blending the two worlds?
Yeah, because I said last week, didn't I, when you said about staying open, where people question about the energy that could use. But your point of view is very different, isn't it? Can you hear me properly?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's always nice and different to get different opinions. But what you and Tony, the point of view you see it from, makes total sense too.
Which is good
Yeah.
because that's the idea. It's just trying to get that understanding. And to me, it's you know, I don't understand how people cannot see this. I know things have changed with generations and stuff, and I mean Tony knows. I mean we come from Camborne, her neck of the woods, and so do I mean But I mean where you come from, the Clayland,
Not originally, though.
well you come from London, I know, but you've been down there enough now to become a local.
Well, I don't know.
This is well, yeah. I mean, you become a local, and up. It's a shame, really, Charlie. You're the age as you are because you miss, unfortunately, the best times in the clay pits. Because I go back to where all the churches used to be packed.
Yeah.
And that Roach, they got I think two churches, or they got the big one on the corner, and I think they had a chapel as well.
They've got the chapel, yeah. But it's what I said to someone the other day with development groups. I don't know if Tony finds this. You don't really find a lot of them in Cornwall anymore.
No,
Yeah.
no. And if you do, for some apparent reason, they are kept quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Because a lot of them like a closed group, and once you're in. Because the thing is what I raise my eyes because it's the best way, and this is why we've done it this way, where you're my closed group, and obviously
Yeah.
the people that are watching and listening, they can join in and they can comment, but we're going to turn up whatever, and people can come and go. And that's the thing with development groups. A lot of people, as Charlie and myself, people will come and go every week. Somebody different will be there, and then you've got to recap, and then you've got to go. And then obviously, if you get 10 or more, and you do a meditation, time you go around the meditation afterwards, your hour, excuse me, your time is gone. I mean, I used to love that. If there's 16 people turn up, I'm like, one meditation, that's all I have to do, and we're all out of here, But once again, nobody learns, with that type of numbers, and
Yeah.
obviously, so I mean, my circle was me, Janet, and this other lady, just the three of us, like we are now. Like for 4 years, we used to go around and around, but that was the old days, where it's like. Where you just learn to work together, etc. But we're learning obviously how to work with spirit. So I know Tony can, well, you can feel stuff, can't you, Tony?
Oh yes.
Yeah, well, that's what
Yeah.
I mean. So we just got to bring Charlie up to type of your, I won't say your level, because we're all at the same level, but your understanding and feeling, okay?
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to diss anybody and go, you're better than. That's not the point of the evenings, it's to raise Charlie up and the people that are watching as well. And everyone's like, but why? Everybody's like, do you meditate? Do you meditate? And I know Tony likes to meditate. But once again, to me, that's the new way. That's the new age way, because back in the day, they didn't have. Yes, they did have music, but going back before, before all this started in the Victorian days, it was lucky if you had a radio to share,
I don't always meditate with music.
No, which is good, but nor do I. I was about to say, but we'll do that in a minute, because when you meditate without music, it's really, really good, because you get to know yourself a lot quicker and a lot faster,
Yeah.
because it's just you and spirit then without the music.
So Tony, do you just sit there? Do you just sit there in silence?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
With no like trying to clear
No,
your mind.
yes, I do. I use a lot of mindful meditation. Um, you could do it with your eyes open, you can do it with your eyes closed. If I do it with my eyes open, I focus on one particular thing and I take everything in about that particular thing that I'm looking at. For instance, in front of me right now, strangely enough, I'm in my bedroom, I've got my TV screen in front of me. But if I'm meditating using mindful meditation, I wouldn't just be looking at it as a TV screen. I will be
Yeah.
looking at it as taking in the colour, taking in the depth of it, taking everything that there is about that TV screen. Um, you do lose yourself in that way, and it helps me so much in various different scenarios and situations because you can do mindful meditation anywhere. So, am
Thank
I right in that, Des?
Totally, because I mean, I used to do it when I used to drive the bus. That's when they came in because once again, although you're totally in control of everything, but you're not thinking about day-to-day things.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
that's the difference between, and that's where I think where music helps modern day meditation is it helps you get into that zone easier. But my big thing is that when you do a church service, when you do an event, I want you to be those type of love, the clairvoyance, whatever, to be able not to meditate. You don't have to meditate
Yeah.
because a lot of people use it to open the door, shall we say.
Yeah. And you don't need to meditate.
No, because what they'll do is within that meditation, go over to the other side, so it's either go into the garden, mostly go through the gateway. There's always a gate or a door.
Yeah.
Where when you go through that's supposed to be the world of spirit, etc., where your guides, where your family can come and meet you. Where I'm like, well, that's all in your head. Why don't you have it here? So what we're going to do is ask you, Charlie, because you're sat nice and quietly and patiently, shall we say, just out of interest, if you just invite your guide in.
Yeah.
Okay. So, once again, in your mind, you don't have to say it out loud because I don't know, but, excuse me, hopefully I've not picked up this flu that's going around. But yeah, it's just because they've all got a signature feeling. Okay, mine is hand on my shoulder. I know that Angie Kruger, she won't mind talking about her, and Rich, hers is in the stomach. Okay, so she'll get a weird feeling in the stomach. And she'll, all right, Rich, you're around, yeah. Da, da, da. So it could be any feeling or anything, but he will tell you it's a male, but he will tell you, that he's in your presence.
When it's always here around my chest area, especially my heart feels. I can never explain it. Do you know when you're waiting on, you feel like something's going to happen, and it
Yeah.
gives you that feeling in the chest?
All right.
That's
Well,
what I get.
no, that's just normal anxiety. That's just normal, normal. So if that is the case, and he does, but no, I know. Thank you. Can you ask him to do another feeling? I'm only saying that because when you start working well with dear departed, unfortunately, your heart has to be quite clean because you'll experience so many heart attacks and so many heart murmurs and so many. I don't want you to have a calling card of the heart.
Yeah. Would my tip fingers feel tingly? Would that be one?
Yeah, that would be one. I know that
feel
you're a
good.
Reiki healer as well, but if that's the way that they want to come through, that's cool.
Yeah. When you were talking and I was asking, it was tingles in my
Yeah,
fingers.
brilliant. So that would be your calling sign. So when you ever send a thought up and going, oh, you're right, and you get those tingly feelings, now you know.
Yeah.
but as I said, to me, the heart thing was just a normal human type of anxiety type of response to what we're doing now.
Right, okay. I'd
If you
always
can
put it.
understand.
Yeah, it's good that you said that because that's the feeling I always thought. So,
Yeah, and as I said, if he wants to come in like that first, brilliant. But it may change. But as I said, if he can do it with the fingers, not a problem.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
then the only thing you'll be worried about is arthritic pain. But
yeah,
obviously, as you know, when your guide comes in and you start working with them, that tingly will go anyway.
yeah,
So that's just for them coming in and saying that they're with you, connected.
yeah,
So that's the connection. So once again, anybody at home, again, you know, if you want to sit by yourself, or it doesn't have to be by yourself, but somewhere quiet where you can obviously, you know, get those subtle feelings, you know. So like any reading, anything that I do with spirit, I always make sure myself, the same with the girls, is you run what they call like just run down yourself. So it's like, have I got a headache? No. Have I got any aches and pains? No. Have I got any, you know, have I got anything wrong with me? You know, no, no, no. So you know anything that's going to come in afterwards isn't you. Yeah. So then if you're
yeah.
working and then if you get a heart pain, you know it's not your heart pain.
But yeah,
So I'm still looking at Charlie because she was talking about the heart. But yeah, but then you know it's not your pain.
yeah,
And then you go, okay, guys, I've got somebody with me, you know, and it all starts from there. Yeah, but if
okay,
you had a sore chest, so like if you do like if you do an evening, obviously, and have a sore chest, that's no good because then every time somebody will come in with, you know, a bad chest or with bad lungs, you've got that battle against yourself. As in,
yeah.
is it you or is it
Them,
them?
yeah,
And that's why when we work with spirit, we've got to be as empty or as a clear vessel as we can.
yeah,
Um, which brings me back to what we was going to do anyway, which is the feeling and the hearing. And it was brilliant because so I was there last night and I said, you know, how can I best describe this? And I was like, well, Des, well, what you've got to do is obviously get your thoughts out of the way so that you can allow their thoughts in. Yeah?
Yeah.
yeah,
And then when we go on to trance, which I've got to bring in as well because it's the same thing in a bizarre way, but you're not talking about thoughts, you're talking about consciousness. So with trance, you get your consciousness out of the way so they can bring theirs in.
okay,
So it works the same theory, the same practice as obviously mediumship because we're blending. But obviously with clairvoyance, with mediumship, we're only blending type of thing the head. We're not blending the body. But with trance, obviously you blend all the chakras. Okay,
okay,
that's where I find it go. Where you go, like bang, they're trying to bang my consciousness, and I'm like, no, can't want it back. But it is there. It is there, and Great Bear will be showing his face in the near future. But that's what it is. It's a case of trying to get your thoughts out. So let's do a little experiment, or not experiment, but let's play. And I'll just say who's on line a minute. Well, both of you. How would you obviously? It's a case of well. Sorry, as in Tony we can do this with Charlie type of thing. So if we like meditate for literally like about 5 minutes,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I mean, as I said, it's up to you, Tony, if you want to get involved because obviously you know. But yeah, it's just a case of seeing if we can. Just close your eyes, Charlie, Tony, and just you know, once again, it's hard for me to explain until you're there, but it's just can we, as you know, Charlie, with kids, I can just, sorry, when you close your eyes, stereotypically, when you close your eyes, that's when your thoughts come in. So it's like that thought about, oh, I've forgotten to do this, or I haven't done that yet. That's when your mind starts speaking to you. Yeah?
Yeah.
But what we want to do is obviously close our eyes. It's easier to close, for this time. But then just get to that stage where you're not thinking about anything.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah,
As
because
in,
that's what I've been practicing.
yeah, I mean, we've all been there once upon a time, but it's hard to explain. Just close your eyes and not think of anything, because as soon as you try not to think of anything, everything floods in. And that's the thing about working with spirit, and that's the once again the good and the bad is allowing this to happen when you, me, or Tony want it to happen. Yeah, because once again, I'm not one of these mediums that's going to get you, finely tuned, that you're highly strung for the rest of your life. That's not what we do. It's control.
Yeah.
So when I say that they're there all the time, you still have the control whether they come in or not, or whether you answer them or not. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So once again, yeah. If you can just do that, just close your eyes. I mean, I'll do it with you because yes, this is what we do. So then, because spirit normally come in on the left hand side. So just a case of quieting down, just quieting the mind. And then for the people that are watching, and Tony and Charlie as well, just imagine your spirit being your guide coming behind you. And then if you just want to experience the feeling of the tingly fingers or whatever call sign Tony's got. But once again, the people at home can do this as well, and it's just the case of just being quiet, quieting your mind. Because once we've learnt to do this, this is the start. It's learning about your mind, your consciousness, how to separate them, how to control them both, and your physical being as well. Because your mind's a brilliant space. So we just, once upon a, we just need to declutter. And then you'll start getting random thoughts coming into your head which won't be yours. Like, how was the universe made? How old are we all? Questions that you wouldn't have been thinking about 10 minutes ago. And once again, they're the thoughts from spirit, and they're the thoughts that we want to come in. We want to fill ahead with those thoughts. Because spirit uses the same body as us and the same mind. The only thing that's different is obviously the spirit. But if we can train our bodies to use both spirits, ours and them, and once again, that's what we're all heading for and hoping for. Right, ladies. I'm going to ask Tony to come back because she's gone. There we go. See
Weren't
how
quite
we...
small, not far from it.
This is what. That's why I only said 5 minutes or two, because I know any more than it's a full meditation, which is fine because you can go off. But once again, this is what we're trying to inform, is that once again things can happen, that quickly. And we're just working on that switch. Most development groups, they all talk about turning on the switch, on and off the switch, and that's just basically, to me, allowing them to come in and out. And yes, you can put switches, and you can put protection around. I don't know why you would want to protect yourself in your own guide, but you can, if you if you do like that, because to me, once again, there is no point. So did you find that easy, Tony? I know Tony found it easy. Sorry, she was gone. She was gone with the fairies.
Nothing new with me.
Yeah, but Charlie, how did you
Yeah,
get to the understanding of having
yeah,
nothing in your head?
yeah. I'm getting better at it because before I used to keep telling myself to stop thinking, but I noticed I wasn't doing that today. Do you know where you're like, don't
Yeah.
let anything come in? But yeah, today I felt a lot more calmer. And seeing colours, is that normal?
Colours, yes.
Yeah, like a gold, yellow.
Skip it.
Why are you doing that to me for?
With your gold. With your
Yeah,
gold, go
well,
away with your gold. I'll take yellow. I'll take yellow. That's fine. The yellow, I
it
can
was
work
not
with the
gold.
yellow. I could work with the
In
yellow
all
bloody.
honesty, though, Des, I saw gold too.
I'll do that to
You
you
get the
now. We
fingers.
both will.
You get the fingers as well. Sorry, I go as high as purple, and you're gold. It's like that's it. Talk about top trumps. No, it's cool.
I'm
So,
glad you got it too.
as I say, so once again, I'm just going to throw this back to you a minute because Jem is just obviously joined the meditation as well, and my ear began to hurt. I saw yellow and green. Okay, yellow is the magic colour, and gold. Ear is absolutely fine now. Strange, but feeling a peaceful feeling. Brilliant. So once again, that I hate to say it, Jem, but once you get that that pain in your ear, that's unfortunately your calling card. And I could just imagine your guide getting you by the ear and grabbing you and going, it's work time. But once again, it's as long as it's a peaceful feeling, because at the end of the day, all of this is peace, is because we're dealing with that loving energy. We're not dealing with hate, we're not dealing with negativity. So everything should be peaceful. When we put people's minds at rest, with our peaceful words. But brilliant, Jem. Yeah, sorry, yellow and green. So green would be the healing. Everybody may not know that. But obviously, being healers, green is a healing colour, and yellow. Okay, I can understand the yellow, or maybe going into orange. Right, just a quick one. Sorry, because you go red, orange. Oh, no, because red is just your sex chakra, and then it goes orange. So yellow, it's your solar plexus, isn't it? Because your heart is the one higher. Yeah, so your solar plexus, which is funny. So that would be how you relate to the world, and how you look at yourself. So it's brilliant that's come up, Jem, because obviously you are looking at yourself. You are hopefully going to, changing yourself with all this bizarre chat, which will make sense at the end. I will, don't hold me to that, but it should. All right, if you stay with us as long as it takes, the penny will drop. But once again, it's just allowing that space. So if Charlie has understood that, okay, thank you. Yeah, actually, because we was doing this with Charlie, weren't we, before the telepathic stuff, which we all do as a group now because Tony's involved. But then on that, just long story short, Tony, just before I had this thing about telepathic stuff and how we should be able to do it on this side of life. Because we shouldn't need phones. Da, da, da. But then me and Charlie started it, and we was getting all right. But then I was told, obviously, that, or read with the Destiny of Souls, that once again, that's on a different universe, a different planet, is where we talk to each other telepathic. So we can't really do it on this side of life, simply because we're on Earth. So I had obviously a massive memory of a past life about, well, not past life, but a different life on a different plane, being able to communicate. And I was like, yeah, let's bring it onto this side of life. And they're like, no, Dez, it'll never happen. But you never know. If I can get an alien friend to come through, and he may be able to teach you both, and then you can teach me. All right. Because that's the thing, when we go into the trance side of things, you'll both be in control, but we've got to get Charlie up to being okay online first, because we'll get your confidence about being up online, and then we'll get your confidence about working with somebody from either a different planet or somebody from like 250,000 years old, which is good. So, Chris, there we go. I get this tingling at the base of my head. Brilliant, mate. Just what would you think then, both of you, about somebody had a tingling at the base of the, well, obviously with what we're talking about, spirituality, would you say that was good, or?
Yes.
I was going to say yeah.
Once again, it's not a trick question. It's just once again, I just, because this is the idea. They'll throw stuff up, and I can bring it into the conversation. So yeah, there's no right or wrong, because I know Charlie's got. Shall I say yes? Shall I say no?
Because sometimes it's like, you get them little feelings as if someone's like an ant is on you. That's why. Because when you said that, it was like I could feel it, kind of thing, like little anti feelings on the bottom of my head, neck. So
yeah, because I know that. I was about to say, because I don't know if you've experienced it, Charlie, but I know that Tony would have, with what she gets up to, obviously, and that's like more, which is more like the paranormal type of side, where you actually go into houses with energy, so you would go in and get the old spider's web. Tony's like, no, I just blow them away, mate. I don't get any bloody webs on my face. No spirit webs. When I come in with my bloody, with my video recorder, they scarper, But if you experience that, then you must have experienced the little subtle type of spirit strokes and stuff.
Yes. Oh yes, where you get the hairs on your arms stand up, and the what is it? Goosebumps.
Yeah.
Get like goosebumpy, and yeah, you do get the, feels like something's crawling over your skin, like a spider or something, but there's nothing there, and yeah, get all sorts.
Because once again, it's to me, it's not what you experience; it's the fact that you're experiencing something.
Yeah.
So it's like with Chris and with Jem there, that are following us and stuff. Yeah, it's the fact that you've got something and you understand that wasn't your feeling.
No, sometimes get the feeling of feeling cold or feeling hot, and all different feelings. It depends on the energy that's there as to the feeling that I personally myself get. It does vary from place to place, and you could go to the same place more than once, but get a totally different feeling each
Yeah.
time. It's never the same.
No, and this is the thing about working with spirit, because the fact is, obviously, they can speak to us, but normally, 9 out of 10 times, it's easier and quicker for them to get the feeling across. And that's
Yeah,
why I always start with feel. That's why, with people that we worked with all the time, and Charlie would have heard it as well, where you feel things. I keep saying, the more you feel, the more information you get.
yeah, you can feel their pain as well,
Yeah,
and their
yeah,
suffering.
and instantly, as soon as you feel that, you know where it's come from, if it's
Yeah,
emotional, physical, etc., etc. Obviously, eventually, all the people that watch, all the people that follow, hopefully we'll get to the seeing, okay? But that's very rare, because there's so much that has to be in place for that to happen.
yeah.
But it has happened, and, if you're lucky enough, like myself, to have seen spirit, it is a phenomenal moment. Uh,
Hmm.
as you can see, they're here now because I'm coughing. But once again, I had to wait 20 years to see my dad. So once again, don't think it's going to happen overnight, because once again, guys and girls, it's the more you put into it, the more you get back. You see. So if you were
Can
just
I
going to,
just say, your dad? Your dad is actually here tonight.
oh yeah, of course he is.
In meditation, he came through.
Yeah, I'm
Sorry, I just had
preaching. No, which is totally fine. You're more than welcome, but please do. Because I didn't do it this week, but the last week, to get myself in the vibe. But I did actually start playing old Methodist hymns. Um, because once again, I'm not trying, the people that are watching, to preach in any way, shape or form. But I come from a preaching family, so it's natural to me. It's what I do, okay? But every time you use the word preach, religion or service, people freak out, and they don't want to know. And that's why I always say now, whatever you put in, you will get back tenfold. All right, so please stick
yeah.
with us in this phenomenal weirdness, because it will make sense eventually. Because, like Tony said, with the feeling, and this is why, and my big thing is the way that they come through is via your chakras and your auras to start with, to make it easy. And I'm not going into that now, because we can do it if anybody wants me to. We can put our stuff in the week, but basically they're energy points going down your body, and then your auras around you, okay? Because once again, we are made of energy, etc. So, the skin bones are the only type of physical matter. All the rest is energy. So that's why. So then they will enter your aura. They will enter and play with your chakras, mainly, obviously, as we hopefully. Is we have 7 main chakras. The more people you talk to now, they're like, you got 15, you got 20, you got 12, you got. Anyway, you can have as many as you want, but mainly we work with 7, okay? Because it's the magic 7 colours of the rainbow, 7 chakra colours, It just makes life easier, okay? And obviously, starting, you have your sex, then you have you one above your bladder, your solar plexus, anyway, heart, etc. But with the mediumship, it's the throat, obviously the third eye, and the crown. Yep, yeah. So mostly you may experience this, Charlie, and whoever's what is when your guide will come in, and that's why IOs know that they're in. IOs get a dry cough. Although I smoke, and everybody goes, "This smoker's cough, Des," and I'm like, no. I said no. It is because obviously they're trying to actually use your voice box. Okay, and then you
Yeah.
go, step back, mate. We're not doing trance. We're just, come in here so I can hear you. Okay, so what they do is, obviously, they will learn. They will, because they've been following you all your lives and life. They know what experiences you've had. They know what to link into. Okay, and what you'll do when you first start doing cards, when you start well, when you start asking spirit to come in, they will just start giving you random images. And then you've got to sit back and go, what does that image mean to me? Because one image can mean something, obviously, well, it will mean something totally different to Charlie, totally different to Tony, me, Chris, Jem. They'll all be different. Okay? So, you know, for instance, a picture of a cat. Okay? You know, to me, I will go, okay, I would relate, obviously, to my, because I've had one cat, so I'd go, okay, a cat, Hermes. Okay, did your cat randomly die or whatever? But obviously, if Charlie's had a cat and lived, you wouldn't think about that at all. You would think, oh,
Yeah.
lovely fluffy thing. You would say companionship,
Yeah.
which is totally different than is your cat just died type thing, you see. But that's how
Yeah.
extreme, you know, that's how cross wires we could get. And with Tony, it would be exactly the same. If she's into cats, you go lovely. If she's not, you go, oh, fucking pain in the ass. And then you go, oh, have you got a son that's been alright?
I've got two in exactly that, Des. They are a pain in the arse at the minute.
Well, this is it. And then you would go, oh, darling, okay, have you got a cat that's been naughty? And they go, no. Oh, have you got a son that's been a pain in the ass? Oh, yeah, you know. Oh, yeah. And once again, we would have, you know, they would have given us the same image, but we had all got something from it. We would all got something different from it.
Different. Yeah.
And that's all purely to do with our experiences that we've had. Okay? And they know it. So that's how they work with experiences.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. And Chris said yes. Once again, he said yes, and you've got to work out what the signs mean, and that's how they do it with the feeling. Okay, because that's the lovely thing when we work with spirit, is eventually they will give us a picture and a feeling to go with it. So that's what happens. It's the feeling first, and that's how we got to blend. So I know that, you know, the people that are watching and following, you know, hopefully will come next week and stuff. But in the week, it's trying this out and blending more. You know, so eventually it will become just like talking to your best friend, and this is what we want. We don't want no switching on or switching off. You know, we eventually want to be able to talk to somebody and go, okay, I've got somebody here, but I'm going to wait for the conversation to open up to allow the mediumship to start.
Yeah.
Because once again, I'm telling her I'm not teaching you to go out and freak people out, because I do, and Anime's like, don't freak them out, Des, it's Tesco's. You don't even know them. You know, and I'm like, yes, why I have to. And then you just you know, hover around until you can butt in, and then see what they say. And then they go, we don't want to know, Des, we're in Tesco, whatever. But once again, we're not teaching everybody to do that, because that is so bad, but it's so cool. I'm not going to take it away. It is so good when you can briefly just, you know, you could just connect that person to a loved one for a split time.
Yeah.
And then just walk out their life again. You know? I mean, the best one is if you know that their son, they've lost a son, or you just stroll past and go, yeah, your son's all right, love, and walk on. And they'll be talking to their friend, and they go, what did he say about my son? You know, and they go, why did he? You know, but it's those gems, you know, because then that leaves it in the person's head. You know, how did Des know that, or what did he say? Was he talking winding me up, or what? You know, but it leaves them with questions.
Yeah.
That then eventually they'll get answered from their son, or from spirit, or from their guides. Will come in and give them the answers. You know, which, you know, whether that be somebody like me, like yourselves, or going to a church, whatever. You know, however they find their answers is fine by us. You know, because if you once again put ownership on these things, they'll never work. So that's the massive thing, is that you can never own whatever they say. You can never own whatever, because once again, it's a separate soul.
Yeah.
And if you start saying, yes, it's me, I do this. I'm a clever. Oh, you won't be one for long. That's all, because you'll be there in front of a lovely congregation and audience, and nothing will come through. And then afterwards, I'll go. It's like, what did you put on your board, Des? You said international media, me. Okay, yes, two fingers to you. But if you say spirit, will help link loved ones together. Brilliant. Because the best thing I had a while ago, somebody wrote to me, and she's like, you don't understand, and I'm like, well, no, I understand, the universe and stuff, but I don't understand how I interact with other people. That's a Sheldon thing. But she said, no, we've all got to remember that we will hopefully become the voice of spirit. And that's what we're all trying to get to. That we're the actual voice. So whatever they say and do, we say and do. Without thinking about it, without hesitation. And that's why that meditation bit, or the having an empty head, is so important. Yeah, just simply because that's the way it happens, and it frustrates me that people don't explain it in this type of way, because once again, you get your thoughts out of the way, they'll bring theirs in, okay. And then you'll go, okay, and then, as I said before, it's all to do with the feeling. So you'll feel your guide, so you'll get tingly fingers. Chris will, maybe just start scratching or itching his neck, and then he'll be, well, I'm itching my neck. What's going on? And then things will start to happen.
It was really weird, Des. Not last week before, I felt as if, like Tony said, I had something on my hand but wasn't there. And I didn't say anything to Russ till the next day. And he went, do you know what? I felt it on my feet, as if I had an ant crawling on my feet. And it was like that validation, as if like to make me realise that I wasn't going crazy and believe when it happens. That's how I felt in that moment of him telling me.
Tony, are you also going to share what you didn't share last week?
Yeah, I was gonna like say that, but I was being nice, not like Des.
What I didn't share last week, as regards to my bell.
That was it. When I was talking about we nice to like get a camera on a bell and stuff.
Yes, Des was talking about like, for instance, if they was to suddenly ring a bell. Well, I have many angels statues in my bedroom, which is where I'm sat now. And as Des said here, I have one that is actually a bell. I will get it so I can show you. And it actually rung. It actually rung, as Des said, about the ringing of a bell. But I didn't put my camera on it because I'm like, well, are they going to think I've actually, which I did just then ring it myself, but I didn't last week. So yes, they're all around us, even in your bedroom. So you're all
That is right. So yes, that was the really in that way. I was like, yeah, we should do this, and Tony going, well, it happened last night. But I didn't tell her. I was like, no, and on cue as well. On cue, just as we were talking about what would be good, it came about. But sorry, Chris, as you know, send me a request, my beloved. I have an important. Right, yeah. Obviously, it seems a bit. Okay. Yeah, I know it's not spiritual, but me, the Cornishmedium, Sue Cyril has now been hacked as well. So there's a lot of hackers out there that are actually.
Let Sue know that she'd been hacked.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, because she's got Sue Cyril 2 or something for some bizarre reason.
It was let Sue know that she'd been hacked.
That's it. Yeah, I've gone under psychic, trying to get your Well, that's what they're doing. But send me a request from my beloved. I have an important message for you, my other account. Yeah, I wouldn't, we use the word beloved. I would if I was in church talking about spirit, etc. But no. But because there's one obviously that I'm supposed to go around to people and go, I've got a reading for you. Give me lots of money, and you won't get anything back. So if you get them from anybody, not to return, and not to befriend. It's fine. But that's what AI is all about now, isn't it? Doing accounts and stuff. Anyway, long story, off for that. Right, so now we know how to feel, and that's once again, it's up to you guys, the people who are watching, how far you want to take this, or how you want to practice. And I say, if you do want to, if you are into meditation and you do it with music, do the old, you go through the garden gate and there'll be a clearing or there'll be a tree where there'll be a seat and you sit in the tree, you sit underneath the tree, you sit anywhere in nature really, and ask your guide, ask your spirit friends to come close, to come in, okay? The reason I got to tell you, the reason which I found out later, I only found out about a couple of months ago why I didn't like meditation, because every time I used to meditate, and this is why I don't do it, sorry, which I should, but I used to meditate, you see, and I used to go into this hallway, a cathedral type thing, and there used to be four spirits either side, as in there used to be four sat on one and three on the other, and they used to be waiting for me. And every time I used to go and, I would get there and they'd be going, you've taken your time, Des. And I'm like, oh, for Christ's sake. And I used to get told off all the time. And then I found out that basically when you have afterlife reviews, when we're up in the spirit world, etc., you have afterlife reviews and stuff. That's what I was involved in. But I was told off, Spirit would tell me off every time for not meditating enough and stuff. And I was like, no, I don't want to do this. So if you do if you do like meditating, and it floats your boat, please do it. But as I said, if you do it, go through the gate. And as I said, as you know, before you do a meditation, you can just send up a thought going, I want to meet my guides. I want to, see a past life. I want to find out what I need to be doing in this life. They're the questions that you ask before the meditation, and just see where it goes. And hopefully you will get the answers, and hopefully you will see your guide, which is brilliant. But once again, I'm on the school of thought that if you have a guide, you can feel your guide, then it's up to you and your guide how friendly you become. It's not up to me, not up to Charlie, not up to Tony. It's up to you. It's your personal relationship with them. We're only here to obviously give you tips to how to do it quicker, easier. Things you may not have thought about, schools of thought, that may not have even entered your head until this evening, or till evenings to come. Because I want you to all at the end, just be able to close your eye, or not even close your eyes, just send up a thought, because that's where we're all eventually going to head, is we just send up a thought, and with that thought comes back everything. So once again, it's the quiet, that quiet mind, and you've heard me talk on different programs that I've done about Gordon Higginson, brilliant medium, trance medium. He's a bit old that way. He's died now. He died years ago. But his mum used to, basically tell him, because she was a clairvoyant as well, when she was doing the dishes, just told him to sit in the corner of the kitchen and be quiet. He didn't understand why until he got into mediumship, and then he understood why. Because the clear information came in so clear and so quick. Then he understood what his mum was trying to do from a young age.
Mm.
Okay, so if you've all got children, I know Charlie's is a bit old now for it, but there's a couple that you can ask to sit quietly in the corner while you work. but they won't know because they'll be on their games, they'll be on their laptops, they'll be on their Facebooks. Unfortunately, those days have gone. But not until me, Tony, and Charlie are gone as well, because we're going to bring them back. We're going to bring them back. Disciplining children. No, we won't bring that back. Unfortunately, parents would like it, but we can't. But what happens behind closed doors, spirit don't know about. It's fine. And as long as your child, deserves it, no tea, no supper's totally fine nowadays. So I'm just smiling because they're like, yeah, Des, just get them in the habit of missing meals when they're younger, because when they're older, that's what you do anyway, so it's fine. So train them young, Charlie. Get them into one meal a day, one school meal, that's all they need, ever. It's cool. It's cool. Right, you're going off the track now, Des, no. Because once again, but it's the feeling, and Tony can, and Chris, because obviously Chris is into the paranormal as well, where he knows about the feeling, where you go into a house and you can feel that if it's a nice house, you can feel that if you want to be there.
Yeah.
That's it. You can feel. You don't know what's happened there. Sometimes you bump into a person and you know that you don't want to be in their energy, into their into their field, and that's that feeling. Once again, we just need to push it so far, because once you get it, you can use it for many things. Empathy. You can link in with the person you're doing the reading to, and get their feelings and stuff, because once again we're just so used to shutting our feelings off, and our kids today, especially with parents that may not live together, with older siblings that beat the shit out of you, type of thing. We're always told to keep our feelings to ourselves at a young age, and now I'm here 50, I'll go, no, that's so wrong. We need to feel, we need that feeling, and as Chris said, always go with your gut feeling, because once again that is that's like the reset type of button that the spirit guide has,
Always go with your intuition.
Pardon?
Always go with your intuition.
Exactly. Yeah. And that is their fail safe. If we can physically speak to them, we'll hit them where they'll know, and that's the stomach. And as you say, and that is it. It's that gut feeling. It's a gut feeling, and I'm writing down the word knowing as well, because this type of job, this type of way of life that we have, you'll hear that so many times in the weeks to come, is knowing. And that's what I was saying to Charlie the other day, it's getting, what did I say? It's the feelings, and then getting the knowings, and then getting getting. What's the third one? I said it was like feelings, knowing, and experience.
Oh, experience.
Wasn't it? Yeah, because I said you feel. Now we got to get you to know, and then we got to get you to experience without hesitation.
Yeah.
But it's the knowing, where you know that lady's lost her son. You know that it's that somebody got murdered in this room. Why do you know it? Because you feel it. And it's like, why do you feel it? Because it came from spirit. If it comes from spirit, it's not lies. It's not fake news. It's not what you get from Google or bloody Facebook. Although we're on Facebook and YouTube. Take that back. But it's the knowing and the feeling.
Yeah.
So when you know something so strong, please say it. The person that you're speaking to will only say no. But that's a human thing. We hate to have that word no. I don't know why. But with mediumship, with clairvoyance, with working for spirit, you're going to get so many no's to begin with, and those no's will turn into yeses.
Mm.
And then
Can I
those
put
yes.
out there on that then, Des?
Hmm?
Can I put something out there on that score then? Like when we was meditating, as I say, your father came through, your dad came to me. I'm not sure if it was your dad or if anybody else can take it, but I was shown a silver pocket watch that had some sort of bird engraved.
Are you still with Miss Charlie?
I'm there.
Okay. Do 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 do. So we've lost Tony. Obviously not physically or mentally, but she'll join us back in a minute. See, that's the difference between St Austell area broadband and the Camborne area broadband.
Could you
Where
take
would you
what she was saying, Des?
Where would you prefer to live? St Austell tonight. Sorry. There we go.
Oh, don't ask me
Now,
what happened there.
you gross.
I kind of disappeared. But yes, as I was saying, Des, a silver pocket watch with a bird engraved on the back of the watch. What else? What else did I get? The name Edna and the name George.
Right. What we're going to is control yourself, Tony, please.
I'm sorry. You said you got to say it when it happens. So
I did. We're not
I'm
doing
sorry.
readings. We're not
I
doing
love
readings.
you telling him off.
No, I'm not doing readings either. But you just told me we got to put it out there, so that's exactly what I'm doing.
Which okay, I can't take that back. I did say to do that, so you did well to do that because you was asked to. And as I said, we'll see it. And Derek White Sky Cloud has just joined us, obviously from Canada, to say hello. Mainly to check up on Charlie and Tony actually, because he knows exactly what you've both been doing, but he's not saying a word yet. Because
Okay.
he said that Lee would have his own show, and Lee laughed at him, and now like 2 or 3 years on, he's doing his own show.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. So anyway, Derek White's going to say, yeah, sometimes spirit obviously wake you up in the mornings and say you need to give a message to somebody. So this is the thing now with obviously what Tony's put out there.
What I've just done, sorry.
She's got a message, but she doesn't know who. Well, she's got a feeling it's for me because obviously my dad is with her. But we can only assume that. But is my dad bringing in some other loved one? Because that's what happens sometimes. But that's obviously going down the road. Is obviously when there's a loved one spirit that maybe is new to this or doesn't like, they'll bring in a family member that will bring in the rest of the spirit crew. You know. And we do that when we do group meetings and stuff. Where the oldest soul will bring through the whole family. So
I'm sorry, but last week you told me off for not saying about my bell ringing. So I thought, well, I've been given it, so I've got to give it out.
But that is true. I'm not taking that off you or back because that is true. Once you've given it, once you've got it, you have to give it off. But hopefully, in time, we'll work on it. That Tony Tony can do that now, but she just obviously was told obviously to put it out there. But over time, we're going to she'll be able to go. There's somebody in the audience that I know you can do that now because you can do addresses. So don't embarrass me. All right.
Should I put the photo up, Des?
Yeah, this is it. See, wrong one. There we go. Pen. It's cool. So, but it's true. You do have to put these things out. But once again, there's a time and a place for a moment. But joking aside, because I see it's now. Oh, 10. Okay, cool. Right. Because what we'll do is that we won't do, because this is what I wanted about these type of evenings or mornings, is this general not general chit chat, but chit chat with a direction,
Yeah.
because once again, we'll just touch on here just before we go, because everybody's like, Des, you said you was going to talk about feelings, hearing and seeing. You just talked about the feelings. Where's everything else? All right, but the feelings tonight was the main thing, because once again you can practice that over the week, is drawing your cards in, getting that feeling, because once again you watching me, you watching Derek, you watching Sue, you watching the people that watch any type of paranormal stuff, they know, and they'll try to direct you into the right path, into the right people, so to me tonight, the feeling was the best one, because that's something you can take away and think about and go, yeah, actually, why do I feel, that I don't want to go into that? Why do I feel really down when somebody's, well, that's a physical thing, is obviously when somebody's down, you give them energy, and because they're down, they don't return it. So then you get tired. Physical, not really spiritual as such. But to hear, because this is where we all get to, and this is where, the next couple of weeks, we'll be, working with Charlie and, well, I have Charlie, Anthony, and everybody, because it's the hearing, okay? Clear, and they call it clairaudience, but once again, to me, it's just, anyway, why do humans have to put labels on every single thing? I know it's a label thing. We've got to put a label on it because it doesn't exist. But that's just me and them, because they go back to the old days where there was no labels. We never wrote anything down. We just knew stuff, and nobody questioned it. It was just like they just knew. But with the hearing, there we I know. I'm sorry. Somebody is pretending to be me, but they're calling themselves psychic. You know that I would never call myself a psychic, because I'm not. Okay, but that's just, I'm a medium, not a psychic. Two different things. So here, okay, I'm lucky, and I've adapted and worked with spirit and blended enough that now, if I'm on a good night, i.e., not gone to work full of energy, and tune myself in, I can hear them, like word for word, and once you get to that, I mean, once again, to hold that vibration, different conversation, is quite hard, okay, but once you get it and experience it, that they'll just do a bit every time you start reading. They'll come and go, hello, hello, love, and then and then obviously when they start doing the reading, then they'll start doing the images and the feelings. Okay, and then obviously if you can keep them talking, then brilliant. I mean, there's some clairvoyants and some readers, that will do it word for word. And they'll go, God, you have got my nan there, because that's exactly what she would have said. And that's where, once again, we all want to get to. So when you're reading, when you're working with spirit, they know, once again, the person that you're reading or sitting with, the congregation, the audience, they know that you're talking to spirit and not yourself. Because people that know me well will always know when I'm working with spirit, like I am tonight, I will never stammer, okay? Because I did have a bad stammer, not so bad now. But when I'm doing my clairvoyance, when I'm doing my reading, I will never stammer, because they're here working with me. When they leave, that's when I start getting a bit anxious. Okay, but they'll never put you in a position that you can't handle. Okay, but with the hearing, as I said, it will come. All right. So don't, once again, don't be like, okay, I can't hear them, days, I'm going to give up. Okay, because once again, it took me years to be able to hear. And I'm not saying it's going to come. It may come quicker to some. Once again, I'm not going to say how your development, how your future's going to be. And again, I can only work with mine. But it took years of working with spirit, of doing sittings, being readings, for them to come through. Because once again, you've got to. I don't like the word understand, but you've got to understand, obviously, that they've got their own mind, and this is why I love working with spirit, because it's just like it's just literally like talking to them as if they was here, and that is the point of it all. But if they are stubborn, and if they wouldn't speak to you on this side of life, they're not going to speak to you when they're dead, or when they're on the other side of life. I hate the word dead, but they'll never speak to you on the other side of life. Okay, so this is why you will get people going, God, I've gone to 4 mediums, and you're the only one that's brought in Dad. Right? It's not the fact that those 4 mediums wasn't any good. The fact that Dad didn't like them. You know, it's simple as. You know, if they didn't speak to you in this, you know, if they wasn't going to speak to you in this side of life, they're not going to speak to you while they're over the other side. They'll send Beryl down instead. You know, because Dad will be, oh, I don't, she's not up to it, mate. I'm not going there. And the Beryl will go, oh, I'll go down and have a chat. You know, and Beryl will go, oh, hello, love. You know, so that's how it happens. They choose the medium. I'm a very strong believer of that, because many times that has happened to me, where, you know, a loved one will come through and they go, God, Dez, you can hear us, you can see us, because once again, they're a living soul, their energy, you know, with their own mind, because obviously, you know, they've come down to say hello, etc. But they want the message to get across. So yeah, if they see a clairvoyant, a psychic that they don't trust, hands up. See, and this is what we're trying to create here with this group, is that trust with spirit. So you trust them, they trust you. I mean, if you speak to Sue and she'll say, if her guide Megan tells her to jump underneath the bus, she would, without hesitation, because she would then know it was her time to go. Because obviously our guides know roughly how we're going to go, roughly what age group we planned, if it's going to be short, medium or long, you know. So your guide will know, and Sue's always said that. She said, no, Dez, if I hear Megan say jump under or jump over the cliff, she goes, I'll do it. So I'm not saying that to you now tonight, guys and girls. I don't want everybody phoning up and saying, yeah, thanks for your meeting yesterday, Dez. Everybody's jumped off a cliff. That's not going to happen, please. Okay? If that happens to you tonight, it's not spirit, it's insanity. Okay?
You've got away with words, Dez.
Well, yeah, well, you do. Well, yeah, sorry, if you tonight get this thing about you've got to jump off a cliff, please go to the doctors. Don't go. You need tablets, darlings.
If we're waiting for an appointment for the doctors, you'll be dead before you get there.
Yeah.
You would if you was in the UK. No, see, I just don't want no claims, like loads of things on my post, you know, saying, Bob, listen to your show, Dez, he's gone. Where is he? Please don't do this.
Sorry, Dez, because we'll all come back and haunt you anyway.
Exactly. Because once again, as anybody would know, you know, working with spirit is a gradual thing. It's a life thing. And this is my big thing. It's a way of life, you know, so it's not going to happen overnight. If it has, and people that are watching understand a lot more, brilliant, you know, we love you for it, you know, and they're the ones that are talking about it. They're the ones that are going out there as well. Because once again, we are going to talk about service, but that will be at a later date, because that's another swear word, it seems. I told you religion is a swear word, but service is as well, how we serve. And as I said, when I got involved with my wife Anna May, I said, unfortunately, love, I said, you're low on the list of things. And she's like, what? I said, well, you know, spirit come first, the public comes second, you come third. You know, if you're happy with that, that's fine by me. We'll get on like a house on fire. You know, I'm not saying everybody should do that, but you know, everybody should think about it. Because once again, once you start to serve, once you start to get that energy exchange back, it's phenomenal, you know. And as I say, you know, as I said, if anybody is watching, you may have done it before, and if you have, brilliant. If not, your time will come where, you know, you will sit with that lovely lady that's just lost her husband, or vice versa. Sit with a gentleman that just lost his wife. Children are really hard, okay? But if you can do that with a mum that's just lost her child, but give them the 100% understanding and proof that their loved one is still with them. There is nothing, no job in the world that will ever touch the energy exchange that you'll have with that person, with their loved ones, and yourself. And then you will know why you're here, sitting on a Thursday night talking to Dez blab on about what he knows about. And I do freak myself out about, we've been online for an hour and a half, and I could just go on and on and on, and everyone's like, I know, Des, so you have to say goodbye now, because you will go on and on and on. Because once again, to me, it's that important to put that across to you, and this is where we try to teach people a bit differently, because I'm not here to teach, as Sue and Derek will, they always say, and we always say, we do not do the teaching, your guides and spirit do. We will give you the tools on this side, so you can you can link in with them. Okay, once you link in with your guides, your spirit friends, our job is done. We don't teach. They'll teach you what you need to learn, what you need to know in this life. All right. So this week, if you can just once again, if you're into meditation, brilliant. Do some. If you're not, just sit quietly, because at the end of the day, it's, knowing or learning about that quiet space. And once again, it's really, we always say do it this way, because when you're in a busy club, or when you're in a public event and there's 100 people there, you don't get the silence. You don't get the tranquil music of meditation. You need to be able to stand up in front of everybody, and before you go out on stage, obviously you switch on and call your friends in, but you've got to do that instantly with that thought pattern. So you just go, right guys, we're going to work tonight, and you're on there. And this is what I want for all the people that are watching me, that follow, to be able to do, and not be. Once again, if you're into meditation, that's fine. But if you can do that and be able to switch it on and switch it off, tell a lie, I will rephrase that. Ask them to step forward and step back. Because I never switch on and off. So I had to rephrase that. You just ask them to step back and to step forward. All right? Which is their way of saying, okay, I'm not needed for a minute. I can go and have a, okay. Thank you. He's Native American, so he could have a peace pipe. I was going to say, you're going to have a cigarette, you're going to have a peace pipe. He's fine. But he'll have a peace pipe out the back while I'm doing normal things. And then when we're ready to work, or I bump into somebody, then they'll come close. That's it. And then you then get into that headspace that you can hear their thoughts. So once again, your thoughts go out over there. It's the TV. Sorry. So if I go that way, and then that's it. Yeah. Then you know what I'm trying to explain with my head. So thoughts go out one way, and they go in as well. And obviously, right. So if you can do that this week, that would be brilliant. And so we will be back next Thursday with the two lovely ladies. And as I said, yeah, we'll just start obviously cracking on about hearing and seeing, and about energy, and about whatever they want to tell, whatever they want to teach. Because as you know, and as Charlie and Tony will know, the night before, I'm like, guys, what are we going to talk about tonight? They're like, don't worry about it, Des. We've got it covered. And I'm like, well, just turn on the mics. And they're like, just turn on the mics. And 1.5 hours is flowing by. Hopefully you've all enjoyed it. I know, sorry. The people that are watching go, yeah, it does, it's flown by. And my lady, I've got a beard now. I've got a beard and my eyes, like, I'm just like just dozing. No, cool. So hopefully that's not the case. Cool. So Charlie, just before we go, because obviously we've all got lives, is there anything that you want me to go over, or you're thinking, no, Des, people won't be able to understand that?
No, nothing at all.
Cool, which is good. I know Tony understands it anyway, but I know. So once again, if anybody can understand that, to find jump. I won't say jump on Tony afterwards. Take that back. But look, because I mean, because I haven't got your names up because obviously I don't want people to know your name and where you live. Nowadays, not a good thing. But Tony, if she's a friend of mine, obviously on my page. Link her up if you can understand that. It's a silver pocket watch, but it was the bird, wasn't it? It had a bird on it.
It's either engraved on the back or it's embossed on the back.
Which was the
Silver
important.
pocket watch.
Yeah, because all people of that generation had them. Like I could take one, but not with the bird. And if you said you've actually got it on you, or in the house, that's I'd ask Anna May. She may know. But once again, if anybody can understand that, obviously link up with myself on my page. I can get you in contact with Tony, or just look her up yourself. Tony, you can see her face. She's got a picture on Facebook. Just befriend her, which is brilliant. Well, thank you once again for joining me this evening. We will crack on now for our daily chores of being non-spiritual. But once again, if you know of any people at home that just want to join us because they're at home, if you know any people that are at home alone and just want to join us for a chat, what have you, just share it and put it out there, because you don't have to be involved, you don't have to get involved. But if you just want somebody in the background rabbiting on about what he knows for an hour and a half, if that makes that person happy, if that makes that person connected and still feel loved, brilliant. The three of us, once again, have done our job, So if you know any people of that, just get online around 7:30. Yeah, have your coffee. You may fall asleep, but if not, he's a good watch. But if you fall asleep, don't worry, because he'll wake you up at 9 o'clock before you go. Not a problem. So hopefully everybody's got something from this. I'm off today going to Borough for a paranormal weekend. Chris, yes. So the weird thing is, right, hold on a minute, Chris. Just before we do go, you go onto YouTube, right? I think it's YouTube. I got it from YouTube. But Borough, okay, is a Scottish island. I know it's a town for you because you're in Australia, and Australia basically pinched loads of our names. Well, and obviously the English people went over and then said, let's call this town Sheffield, or let's call this town, because I think there's a St Ives over there, there's a Bodmin, there's a Launceston, so there's lots of Cornish names. But Borough is an island off Scotland in the UK, and there was a documentary about a boy who had a past life in Borough. So if you go onto YouTube, Chris, and type in Borough boy, okay, you'll get a documentary about this little kid that had a past life in Borough. And basically he never went there because he was mainland Scotland, but he kept going on about this island, about this house, about this family that he had. His parents got really skitsy, and they took him over there, and he took them exactly to the house that he used to live in, told them that the parents, the names of the parents, and lo and behold, it was all true. It was a past life. So when you say Borough, I know you mean a city near you, but if you go onto YouTube, type in Borough Boy. I've got it obviously YouTube because we used it a while ago, but it's a brilliant documentary if you're into past lives, and if you've got a child or know of a child that remembers a past life, that type of thing. Look it up, Chris. You'll love it. And on that note, oh yes, I've heard of that. But please do, Chris, look it up, mate. And you will learn, or you won't learn, but it'll be enjoyable. And on that note of enjoyment, we shall bid you all farewell for tonight.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.